Everyone, happy Tuesday. I just wanted to introduce you to my little dog Dash. Dash is my office companion, office buddy, and he often keeps my lap warm in winter. Today he's a bit sleepy, aren't you, Dashy dog? Because I think he's been having a lovely sleep on the couch, as you do. Life of a dog, or this particular dog, is very, very happy. So yes, he just loves a good ear scratch and good snuggle. So he's the cutest thing. We got him as a rescue dog actually. So we rescued him when he was very young. Apparently he was the most crazy puppy that nobody wanted him, and our family can be a bit crazy at times. So he fitted right in here, but he's not being crazy today. He's too busy being sleepy. So yeah, he comes in the car with me, he sticks his head out the car window, and people talk to him as we drive past. So he really is such a sweetheart. Anyway, let's get on to today's topic. I'll let him go because I think he probably just wants to go back to sleep, don't you, Dashy? There you go. All right, let's get on to today's topic. Today's topic is the spelling hack every teacher should know. And this is one that I use in my teaching method, but it's also one that I say to teachers, it's a really easy one to do when you are teaching spelling at any grade level. And it can be spelling of all different types, because really there is different types of teaching spelling. We can be teaching spelling that is keywords in a subject area like the secondary school, or we can be teaching word lists in primary school. So this works for both of those things. So let me show you exactly how it works. So, and firstly, let me tell you why. Because about 50% of the English-speaking adult population struggles with spelling. And that's quite a lot, I think you would agree. So what does that say about the teaching that we're doing? Is it that English is just a super hard language, or is it because our teaching methods lack in some way in terms of getting our students to be competent spellers? The thing is, spelling is really an exact science. There's either words spelled correctly or there's words spelled wrong, and there's not too much in the middle, unless of course you consider UK spellings and US spellings, both of which are mostly widely accepted by any teachers these days, as long as students are consistent in their piece of work. But there is this fact that there are lots of word influences coming in and around spelling today. And that is everything from the introduction of all kinds of different foreign words as we become more global. It's the creation of new words that are evolving and coming up all the time. There is influences from marketing and advertising. So we've got advertising slogans, marketing jargon. They're always having an impact on and you'll see in the blog today, actually, I've put some examples of this. Plus, we've got texting, which is also having a big impact. And let's face it, spelling isn't being seen by everybody as being so important these days. It's more about the quality of the information. So how can we help a child who's struggling with spelling at school? And believe me, this is the area where most children struggle the most, especially when they've got literacy difficulties. And this is a spelling hack that I want to tell you about today that you should always have in your go-to toolkit. You're going to need a drum or a similar musical instrument, and you're going to need some graph paper like this. So 1 centimetre graph paper is great because it's nice and big, and bigger the better, I think. So let's use the word hippopotamus as our example. So how many syllables does the word hippopotamus have? Let's count them out. I want you to use a drum or a musical instrument, but I'm just going to use my clapping hands. So I've got hip, ho, pot, mus. Hip, ho, pot, mus. We've got 5. So I want you to show your students that there are 5 beats in that word, or 5 syllables. Do that first. That's the first thing that you need to do. And I want you to write it on the board in syllables, or write it somewhere where they can see it. So hip, ho, pot, mus. So they can see the 5 sections broken down. Now what that does is it takes a super long word and it makes it into a series of shorter words. And those shorter words are much more palatable, much more achievable, much more
or should I say less stressful for the child who struggles with spelling, because all of a sudden you've got word parts instead of a massively long word right in front of them. So here's step 2 now. That graph paper I was telling you about, and I want you, I hope you can see this, I want you to write them out on the graph paper like that. So hip dash, po dash, pot dash, a dash mus, hippopotamus, and get them to write it out like this a few times. Then I want you to ask them to have a go at writing the whole word as it appears or as they would see it if they were writing it in a story. So close up the graph paper and just get them to write the whole word out. Because what they will find is that once an overwhelmingly long word, and pretty scary for some children because it's so long, becomes much easier to attack, decode, and to spell it. And as I said before, you can do this with spelling lists, but you can also do it with subject area, like keyword lists. Because what we're really trying to do with spelling, particularly as our students go into those higher year levels, is we're trying to give them the confidence to have a go. Because many students feel that spelling is way outside their comfort zone. We want our students writing what they know about a subject or a topic. We don't want them being limited because they're choosing to write with only those words they know how to spell. Students will do this, and I know lots who still do this, because they want to avoid having all the red crossings out on their work. And they don't want to be embarrassed when they get their work back from their teacher to see all the red crossings out. So it's more important that students write what they know about a subject area than they get every word spelt correctly. We want our grade 6 or year 8 students or year 10 students writing to their ability. The older student who writes like a grade 3 student is going to be penalised because their content is not going to be desirable. It's not going to be what you want if they always are choosing words they can't spell. So we want to give our students momentum. And by that I mean we want to give them the ability to pick up a pen, pick up a pencil, get onto their computers and just go for it in terms of what they know about a subject. So we want what they write to be reflective of their spoken vocabulary. In other words, what they could tell you about the topic. We don't want it to be reflective of their poor spelling or their spelling that they're still learning to do better with. So if you give your students permission to just have a go, then you will notice that the content and quality of their written work will go up exponentially. Now, if you are a stickler for spelling, and let's face it, some of us as teachers are, not me so much because I come from a background of people who all struggle with spelling, but some teachers are particularly tough on spelling. If you're one of those teachers, choose 5 words that you want that student to be able to spell correctly whenever they write about that topic, and do what I've suggested. Get the drum out, break the words down into syllables, get the graph paper out, get them to graph out or space out the word parts inside each syllable. And then you'll find them sounding the word out and visualising the word and using those boxes of short and smaller words to get to the brunt of how to actually spell that word moving forward. So I hope you have a great day. I am busy. I'm still creating this training course and I'm up to doing the post-16 area. So I'm talking about training teachers who work in tertiary, TAFE, university, colleges, those type of teachers on supporting students with neurodiversity. So it's a pretty detailed script because there are so many great accommodations that we can tell them about and strategies. So have a super day, everyone. I'm going to get back to that now, and I will see you again tomorrow. So have a great day. Bye.